Hi, today's video is going to be something a little bit different. It's been a while since I made a kind of like a guitar repairing video and all that kind of shit going on. So I actually have a guitar that I haven't been playing a lot the past years, I would say, the past year at least. I've had it kind of like in storage in the hard case. What's been going on with it is actually that the volume pot is actually in very bad condition now. So when I'm, kind of like adjusting the volume, I always have a full throttle, so to speak. But it's kind of like, sometimes it's kind of like not sounding the way it should be, and it's kind of like a little bit popping and all that kind of shit going on when turning the volume knob. So it's time for putting in a new volume knob, volume pot I should say. The guitar I'm talking about is my Jane Doe Telecaster that I had built for me back in 2012, I think it was. This is actually an awesome guitar. It's looking like this. For you haven't seen my YouTube video before, this is kind of like a little bit unique guitar. It's only one made in the whole world, because this is kind of like my own brand prototype actually. So the volume knob is actually right here, and it's making a lot of noises, and sometimes it doesn't go on even, so there's no audio coming out to the amplifier. Let's go ahead and I'm going to show you what it's actually sounding like right now, so you understand why I need to change the volume pot actually. So this is the guitar here. I'm sorry about the bad light situation here. I should have installed two of these 5000K lamps here so I can get a better view here. I have the camera on auto, so I'm not sure. It's actually the volume pot here that needs to be swapped for a new one. So I'm going to put on my soldering station as well. Let's go ahead and see what's going on here. Yeah, there's some wiring right here. We got a 9-volt battery for the EMG81. Yeah, so basically this one needs to be swapped for a new one. I actually have some new ones right here, 25K pots. I usually used to buy a bunch of these ones at the same time, because I have a lot of guitars with EMGs and active pickups in them, and this is basically what you're needing for that type of active pickup. I don't know if you can see this, but this is the numbers on there. This is a 25K. There's various various type of 25K pots actually out there, so but this one will work just as fine, I believe. So these ones are brand new, so I can see that these ones are a little bit tight to, you know, work with. So that's gonna be a difference for me, because this one is kind of like, you know, it's all worn out, so it's, you know, there's no resistance in there at all. So what I'm usually doing here is actually, you know, this is my guitar, so of course I don't want to scratch them up, so I use some tape usually, just to, you know, do like this. Do like this. Holy shit. Do like this. Possibly. I suggest you go ahead and do something similar as I'm doing right now, because it's never fun to, you know, scratch up the paint job on your guitar or anything like that. And this is metal, so I'm usually working with it like this, or, you know, whatever feels comfortable. And remember now to, you know, kind of like always get the, you know, the cables in the exact same position on the new one right here. I'm sorry about the yellowish light here. There we go. So that's something you have to think about. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is actually to take this one out of here and put this one in here, and then solder away the cables from this one onto this one. So I'm gonna go ahead and do some preparing here off cam, and I will be back in just a moment. Okay, so we're back here. I'm gonna go ahead and, holy shit, I don't like this yellowish light here. Don't like it at all. I guess you have to, you know, I'm sorry. This one is just about to pop out of there, like so. And there we need I think that's kind of like not sure. No. Gonna take a tool here just to get it out of here. There we go. And this one was in that direction because it's not centered in the middle here, so I want the volume knob as close to the bridge as possible. About it actually, yeah, that's what I think. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it in. Holy shit, this one needs to be drilled out a little bit more to make this fit here. So I'm actually gonna, you can see it doesn't fit here. So what I'm about to go ahead and do is to find a drill and drill up the hole a little bit so we can work with it a little more easy. So what I did is actually that I drilled out the hole a little bit so that the new pot fit just perfect in here. So I can see that this direction is supposed to be, not this one, so I'm gonna put it in just the same way as the other one by, you know, I'm gonna put a washer on there and then the nut. Then I'm gonna make sure that everything is lined up properly before I tighten this one up here as good as I can, and voila, this is what it's looking like right now. I think it's looking great actually. So what I'm needing to do now is to solder, desolder the cables here. Oops, got some washers and some things going on there. Gonna desolder the cables here. It may look like a little bit like a mess, but I think it will be all right actually. So I'm gonna start with having a look on the cables here and see which cable is which here, because I have some active EMG pickup in here, and that's why I'm using 25K pots. We actually got a two ground. We got a ground on the pickup, and then we got a ground from the output jack as well. There's no directly ground to the bridge and all that kind of stuff going on these EMG pickups. It's just an internal ground on the pickups itself. So I'm gonna go ahead and solder away this black ground here first of all. This one right here, this black wire right here. So I'm gonna take my fume fan. Of course, I don't want this. I don't want to breathe these fumes here. So here we go. Come on, get loose. There we go. So it's actually the first one right here. And that's the ground, so we need a stable ground position right here on this one. I'm not sure exactly how to do it, but we will manage. There we go, I think we got a stable ground right there. Gonna go ahead and put this one on there. I'm gonna solder with my left hand. There we go. Now we're aiming for the middle one right here, this one right there. So I'm just gonna solder it away. I'm not sure how much you can see of this, but it's kind of like looking a little bit like a mess here, I believe. There we go. Holy shit, solder on the guitar, that's not good. So as you can see now, this one was in the middle here, in the middle position. So now I gotta put it in the middle of this one as well. So I'm just putting it in there. Usually that's just fine, because these cables have been soldered before, so it's just, you know, stays in place there. I don't know how well you can see this, but I'm trying to solder this as good as possible. Preheating, then put on some. There we go. That's a perfect solder right there. That's that. And what else do we have here? We got the signal. We got the signal from the pickup. That's this one, and this is supposed to go right here on this knob right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and take it away, and also the grounding right here I'm gonna take away. So I think we're gonna go with the ground first, and I do not wanna mess up the shield when doing this, so I'm gonna go ahead and see what it's all about. There we go. That's one loose. Now just need to loosen the signal here by just a simple step like so. There we go. This one is history now. This is the old one right here. Ouch, it's hotter than hell, I believe. So yeah, now we can go back to this one right here. And first we're gonna place the signal just like so. Preheating. Put on some solder. That's a perfect soldering joint right there. Now we got the ground situation here, so I think we need to manage a new, we need a new grounding point as well, because I usually do that. So I'm gonna preheat the housing here. It's not really good to preheat this too much, because the inside can actually be damaged, so that's something to think about when doing this kind of shit here. I'm gonna see if this is possible to make a soldering joint right there, a grounding point. Now we're gonna put on this ground here without hurting the signal cable for the pickup. So what I'm doing is putting it like this. I'm trying to solder everything together like so. That's perfect. So far it looks pretty damn good, I must say. And we got two grounds here. We got the from the output jack. We got the ground for the pickup, and we got the signal cable right here. I think this is pretty much. I think we're pretty much good to go from here. So let's go ahead and take away the protecting tape here. Protective tape is always good to have. We're gonna pop this one back here in the cavity here. We're gonna see just like so. Oops, holy shit. I'm sorry about the light situation here. I promise I will invest in some better light here in my guitar workshop. There we go. There we go. This one should fit just on there. Ah, perfect. Wow, this is so much smoother now. Holy shit. What a difference. Yeah, that's what it is. I think I'm pretty much done now. So let's take this guitar to my amplifier and see what kind of difference it's make actually.